Hey guys, I'm Tom, Head of Marketing at ValueDAO. We're at DeSci Berlin and we asked DeSci builders 5 questions. Here's what they said.
One thing in DeSci that more people should pay attention to is, I think, patient organizations and like Reddit groups. I think they're an untapped group. I think we've tried to get into them. We haven't quite cracked it. I would really like to see more patient groups onboarded.
That's about community, it's about funding independent researchers. And I believe this is the core thing of DeSci, that we don't need, not even thinking about it, but do not forget it. Otherwise, we are going to change it as a degen place. And science is not about gen, it's about proof, it's about health, it's about people.
Honestly, I think community building, it's a lost art. And we can always invest more time, energy and resources into building stronger and more productive communities.
I suppose getting things done. You have to talk about things a lot, and that sometimes crowds out doing things. And there's the illusion that DeSci is easier than getting traditional grant funding where people spend all their time chasing after funding. But in DeSci, you spend all your time chasing after attention, which translates into funding in an ideal case. But it's not clear to me that it's easier. It's just different and suited for different sets of projects.
It's just, really the flourishing DAO ecosystem that Molecule and Bio has built. I think there are a lot of really, really interesting projects out there that are doing amazing work, and I do feel that also with our latest launch for Molecule Labs, now there's actually a really easy way to show this progress. So basically show the scientific progress that is backing these DAOs, and especially the IP NFTs and the IPTs. So I really encourage everyone to don't trust, but verify, and verify the science, and really make sure that you understand what the projects are doing. Keep them accountable, and vice versa, of course, and just get engaged and make sure that, you can take part in this, because I do think that there can be quite a big impact on humanity if we get this right.
Personally, for me, I think decentralization is great. I think it also brings its own host of new sort of inefficiencies. I definitely don't think it's like one or the other. So one of the problems I'd like to see is like a little bit better coordination and organization, like across multiple teams, multiple stakeholders, and people across the world.
What we need is about finding good proof that our science works, and with that, we can fix science. That's why DeSci exists. It's not about the gen, it's not about one Lambo, it's about one proof.
I think I would fix the problem of token value and market representation of value not being so closely tied to the underlying value of the assets that DAOs are producing and hold.
Well, the problem of aggregating attention means that DeSci projects are overweighted. This is related to my prior point in their dependence on social media, and I don't know how great that is.
I think what we need to achieve as an ecosystem and as a sector in crypto, we need to be better at going where the actual users are, where the patients are, going into these communities and make sure that we spread a bit more awareness. And honestly, I've been in crypto for a long time now, I think we need to start abstracting all of this away. It's not very inclusive. A lot of the primitives that we introduce, they work fine, but the ultimate end users, they don't care how this all works, right? And I think just the way we talk about this needs to be a bit adjusted to really try to reach mass adoption and get a lot more people excited about the space.
Surprising or weird? Honestly, I feel like after 2 and a bit years in the DeSci space, there's not much that can surprise me.
Can I say ValueDAO? Yeah, because they are solid, they're looking for proofs, they are walking steadily, and they're not looking for just making vaporware. They are looking to do science, to funding reasonable, important researchers.
Well, I hope to think ours is surprising because we have a very different token model than the rest of it. We're trying to create a token that's based on the premise that a year of healthy life has value, and therefore to create economies around priorities other than profit.
Maybe I could do top 3, or not top 3, but 3 really interesting ones. I definitely think that projects that target an audience that is chronically underserved by traditional pharma are really, really unique and interesting and bring a lot of really cool people together. So I have to say it, but I really like DeSci. I think they're kind of cool because like the audience is just, it's just very interesting to see those people and have them come together and the energy that they bring. The system really like ValleyDAO is super cool, so shout out to ValleyDAO. And then Cerebrum, VitaDAO of course as like the flagship one. So it's really tough to pick interesting ones because they are all unique in their own ways. And I do think that, just the diversity in all of these projects is just so unique to this ecosystem. And I hope that there's many, many more to come. So go check out Molecule Bio, found your DAO, find your group, and then just, get going.
100%. I explain DeSci. I tend to, I've got a science background, so I tend to abstract away from the Web3 where I can. And I just explain that DeSci is a movement to improve science using the most cutting edge technology that we have at the moment, which is blockchain technology and AI as well.
You know, that whole thing about genoma from the 90s? So something like that, but we don't need to receive funding from corporate, from the state. We are receiving funding. Everyone is being funded by everyone. So DeSci is like not about only being funded by everyone, but also making everything transparent. So I think, I believe that I would share something like that to my mom.
I think I would just leave out the crypto part entirely and just, really focus on the fact that DeSci is a community-driven movement trying to really take science back into the hands of people.
Well, there's a lot of varieties of DeSci, but in general, it has dimensions that would allow participation, stakeholders in a different way. And as we hope to show, it might allow the prioritization of different values and the solutions to problems which traditional capital might not be able to address.
Wow. I would probably first start with explaining a bit how blockchain works, which is just literally, I don't know how to do it, decentralized trust, basically. Trying to explain why this is cool and why it is so disruptive. And then for DeSci, I think the best explanation I would give, and this is how I explained it to my mother and my father that have no clue and think I'm working for Bitcoin, is literally bringing people together that care about a certain disease and really trying to find a cure for things. And it's not being reliant on centralized authorities or institutions even to trust them and get this going, but take the power in your own hand and contribute, whatever that is, whether that's money, whether that's expertise, whether that's just emotional support, sticking through all of this. I think that's the best way to describe it. So basically just, forming communities, bringing the expertise together and then really finding cures.
I work obviously in marketing, so I spend a lot of my time figuring out how to reach people. I think it's just general word of mouth. I think most people that come into the DeSci seriously have been introduced by someone that they know. And I always say chat about your local science project or your a DAO at your next dinner party and see whose ears prick up. Also just attracting really high quality people is a recipe for success. Partnership,
because we cannot move alone. That's why we are community already. That's why we are movement. And I believe that in order to decide to work, we need to do more partnerships, and not only with the DeSci, but also with centralized science, because we need to work together. We have just one goal, and that's about science. And of course, we have this whole IP thing, this whole universities and controlling science, but we need to move together to deliver more features, more tools, more processes, and that's how we are going to believe it's science. We cannot move faster. We need to work steadily and work together.
I think we have a lot of work to do and we have a lot of things to prove. I think once some of the results come out of our projects, then people are going to naturally discover the value that we're creating for the scientific ecosystem. So, I say we, I don't just mean ValleyDAO, I mean all DeSci projects as a collective.
I think some of the projects need to deliver compelling results, basically. Since it's new and drugs take time, that hasn't happened yet. But it will happen, and there's a long tradition of distributed science, often called citizen science. This goes back hundreds of years, so it's not so new. It's the blockchain part that changes or adds a new distributed dimension to the funding of such things. That's the new part.
What needs to happen for DeSci to grow and reach more people? Yeah, I think I mentioned this before. Like we need to go where the users are. We need to go where the people are that where the patients are, where the people are that are affected, that care deeply about this. Whether that's family members, whether it's actual patients, and really make sure that they feel that this is something meaningful and it is just not crypto. Yes, there's a lot of stigma still behind this, and I think yeah, we're such great scientists here, and we just need to do a better job at highlighting them and putting them in front. So it's not just about tokens and prices and tokenization, because that's ultimately easy. Honestly, there's so many ways to tokenize things now, but we really need to do a better job at just yeah, highlighting what is back in these projects. So really put the scientists in the front, put the people in the front that are being helped by this new way, and I think that's how we win, honestly.
We had a blast at DeSci Berlin, and if you want to be part of DeSci movement, make sure to join ValueDAO's Telegram channel and Discord, and make sure to follow us on Twitter.